Committing to learning becomes really difficult when you have to learn about difficult topics. For example, in class we've talked about things like privilege and oppression, and I think these are really hard topics to talk about, especially in a classroom setting. It's hard to put yourself out there and be vulnerable about your ideas about something in life that's so controversial right now. In our world today, these are huge issues, and people don't really know how to talk about it appropriately and discuss ideas without it turning into arguments and fights. Recently in class, we've talked a lot about how learning takes commitment. I think this is important in any part of life, whether you're learning in school or learning through experience or anything. It's going to take time, it's going to take commitment, and it's going to take work. Although at first I was really against talking about these topics, I think from now on I'll try to embrace it more because, as we talked about, learning can be hard. It can be hard to talk about hard topics, but honestly, I only think it's going to make me into a better leader. So I'm trying to have a more open mindset about talking about things that are hard, and even if they may exclude people or make people feel vulnerable, I think they're things that we need to talk about in life because in our world today, we don't really talk about the hard things, and I think we need to do that. Personally, when we started talking about privilege in class, I hated it. I thought it made me feel guilty because I do have a lot of privilege in my life. I've been very privileged growing up, but I don't think that it defines me at all, and I don't think it should define anyone. I don't think the fact that I have privilege means that I've had everything in my life handed to me. Even though I have had privilege, it doesn't mean I work any less hard to learn the things that I've learned throughout my life and to do the things that I've done. I've always wanted to be creative in my life. I think that that's a great quality to have, but I have recently learned that creativity also comes with vulnerability. If you think about the workplace, when you come up with new ideas and you try to be creative, you're also putting yourself in a very vulnerable position. Your idea could either be very successful or it could fail. So it can be very hard to put yourself out there, try something new, knowing that you could crash and burn essentially. However, the benefit to being creative is that you can be very successful. Using creativity and using new ideas is how we come up with new discoveries, new advancements, and things that make our world today. This class has definitely made me think about creativity on a deeper level. I always thought about it in the realm of art and design and things like that and having fun, but now I'm thinking about it in a way that relates more to how we make advancements in life, especially through engineering or other STEM fields like that. Sometimes making big ideas and making big differences takes a lot of creativity, and that can be hard to do, but you have to put yourself out there and try it. In my first video reflection for this class, I talked about thinking deeply about things that I originally would not think deep about. And that's how I felt again talking about the creativity part. I thought about creativity on a very shallow level, and when I think about it in a deeper way, it can be very hard to be creative, but it's something that we need in life. This time around, however, I was definitely challenged a lot more. When it came to talking about topics like privilege and oppression, I struggled a lot. I didn't really understand why we were talking about things like that. I didn't see the benefit of it at first, and it's even hard to see sometimes now. My goal moving forward in this class will definitely be to keep a more open mind about topics, even if the topics are really hard to talk about. I struggled a lot before, as I said, but looking back on it, I think it's something that needed to happen. It helped me realize my place among the people I'm around, and it helped me think deeply about things like what defines me. I don't feel like my privilege defines me, so that means I shouldn't judge other people based on their privilege as well. I'm still looking forward to what else we'll talk about in this class. I struggled a little bit being challenged, but I think it's helping me grow as a leader, so I'm looking forward to it.